Now on NBC Palm Springs at 11 o'clock, a deadly crash on the 10 sparks concerns about long-distance truck driver safety. We've got the details ahead. Also tonight, a conversation is stirring about how Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco is funding his legal defense. We have that report coming up.
We heated up to the low 80s, but soon we'll get even hotter and then cool off again. All the details coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 11 begins now.
Now, connecting the valley, this is NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to have you here on this Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Mark Mester. A crash this morning involving a semi-truck has now caused some discussions between local truck drivers on the dangers of being on the road. Our Brett Rosen tonight with our top story.
It was a crash this morning that involved 6 different vehicles, including the big rig, which struck head-on with a cement truck, leaving 5 individuals injured and taken to the hospital, including the truck driver. And as for the cement driver who was hit, he was pronounced dead at the scene. This incident leaving locals who were near the crash speechless.
That cement truck just shattered. The whole front end just gone. So it kind of goes through your mind, what, poor guy, whoever was sitting in there, probably didn't make it, So that's probably the worst part, because that could have been any of us.
In the surveillance footage taken by a business across from the freeway, it shows the semi-truck losing control, veering off, and crashing into the middle divider. California Highway Patrol saying it is still under investigation on what truly caused this accident. But local truck drivers saying this line of work can be very dangerous, especially if drivers do not take the proper rest.
Very bad accident. One guy probably fell asleep and came on another side, and very hard to see, and my heart is completely broken right now.
By the time you're done, you're already tired, but you still have a couple more hours to drive. So I tell people, just go to sleep, man. If you're tired, just go to sleep.
CHP officials also saying how when you're on the road, especially on a freeway, always stay alert to keep yourself and others safe.
Be very aware of these trucks. They're really big. Sometimes they work long hours. You want to just be aware of the traffic around you. Sometimes it's unavoidable. This truck went across into the other lanes, and so the people coming westbound couldn't really react in time to avoid the crash. So just be careful out there as you're driving. Just be hyper aware of everyone around you.
That was our Brett Rosen reporting this evening. A suspect is in custody after police say he threatened a store employee with a knife in Indio. Officers were called just before 10:30 this morning to a Circle K at Indio Boulevard and Fred Waring Drive. Investigators say the suspect, who has not been identified, allegedly brandished a knife after being asked to leave for loitering and then fled the scene. No one was injured. Officers found the suspect a short distance away, took him into custody without incident. He was booked into the Benoit Detention Center on suspicion of brandishing a weapon and making threats. Silvercrest CEO William Rodriguez was back in court today for his DUI murder trial. Rodriguez was arrested last year in connection with a deadly hit and run that claimed the life of 60-year-old Christina Barrington back in 2024. Rodriguez has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including murder, hit and run causing death, and driving on a suspended license. During last week's meeting, the court ordered the prosecution to turn over all remaining discovery evidence no later than last Friday. That was April 10th. The district attorney's office says Rodriguez is due back in court on May 26th for a preliminary hearing. Let's take a break from the headlines and get a check on tonight's forecast. We have live pictures right now from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above right there in Rancho Mirage. We're going to send things over to Pablo Alsina. Pablo, 73 degrees in Palm Springs. That's a nice evening.
Yeah, we can't complain at all. Weather yesterday was cooler. Today got a little bit hotter, but right now just a gorgeous 73 degrees. Low humidity. Again, now 5 days straight, we've been well below normal temperatures, so we will take that after a March that we were over 100 for several of the weeks. 73 currently in Palm Springs, 53 in Yucca Valley, Big Bear City right at freezing at 32 degrees. Absolutely no rain in the forecast. Even if you see clouds this weekend, there won't be any water in them. The winds will be strong, though, 20-mile-per-hour winds in Palm Springs currently. Whitewater will get even windier when Thursday rolls around. And our 3-day Comfort Air forecast, Wednesday should be the hottest day left in this week at a high of 88. Thursday then cooling off to 86. Friday a slightly cooler at 83, but we will heat up in the weekend, and I'll have that when I return.
Continuing coverage tonight as questions continue to grow over how Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco is funding his legal defense as he faces lawsuits over his investigation into the 2025 special election. Today, a press conference was held in Riverside where city officials and members of the public spoke out against the investigation. Our Alondra Campos tonight with that story.
A legal fight continues to build in Riverside County, centered around who has the authority to investigate elections and who should pay for the consequences. At the heart of it, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco's investigation into the 2025 special election, an effort that has now sparked multiple lawsuits and raised questions about the use of taxpayer money. The Riverside County Board of Supervisors formally decided they will not be paying Bianco's investigation into alleged voter fraud after a closed session meeting today in a 4-1 vote.
As a sheriff, we understand that, yes, and a government employee that, that there are certain entitlements for the county to represent, to cover. However, there is a process. Our concern is around the process and that Bianco did not first go to the county to assure that he could seek outside legal representation when he hired an attorney.
The decision came after a press conference was held in Riverside by Riverside City Council member Clarissa Cervantes, who has filed a lawsuit against Sheriff Bianco, along with Indio City Council member Oscar Ortiz, for Bianco's seizure of hundreds of thousands of ballots as part of his investigation.
There are several election codes that were outlined in which the Israeli Voting Rights Group and as well as the Attorney General have highlighted as serious concerns as to Bianco's justification for why he has the ballots and has sheriffs handling and managing them.
Accompanying Cervantes were other plaintiffs involved in the case who also expressed their frustrations.
That the legal issues that he's getting involved with of his own making. It's his own fault, okay? He got involved with that investigation, and he was doing that as a stunt to promote his run for governor.
And now he's trying to do an end run to have the county pay his bills when nothing he did was legal.
The controversy has now fully extended to the state level as the Supreme Court has decided to take on the case, where California Attorney General Rob Bonta has filed his own lawsuit. Bianco has pushed back on multiple instances, arguing he does not need to follow Bonta's orders and accusing the Attorney General of using taxpayer money to fund what he calls a cover-up. In a statement, Bianco said, open quote, "Taxpayers are currently funding a cover-up of a lawful investigation into election integrity, a cover-up orchestrated by an embarrassment of an Attorney General," end quote.
That was our Alondra Campos reporting this evening. Governor Gavin Newsom issued a proclamation today setting a special election date to fill the congressional seat left vacant by Eric Swalwell. The election to replace the Castro Valley Democrat will take place now on August 18th. Swalwell resigned from his House seat amid media reports of alleged sexual assault and misconduct, including a former staffer's accusation. The person elected to the position will serve out the final months of Swalwell's term in Congress. The Riverside County Board of Supervisors has unanimously approved extending a moratorium on new short-term rental permits in Thousand Palms. Officials say the extension will allow the county to study the impact of short-term rentals on local neighborhoods, especially during the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. The moratorium was set to expire this week, but will now remain in place without a set end date. By law, it could last up to 10 more months, though officials say it may soon end. At least end sooner. There are currently about 60 short-term rental properties in the affected areas. Today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day, also known as Yom HaShoah. The Jewish Federation of the Desert honored the memory of those who were murdered at Temple Sinai in Palm Desert earlier tonight. The Day of Remembrance, established in Israel in 1959, commemorates the anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, the first significant urban revolt against German occupation in Europe, and the largest uprising by Jews during World War II.
The Jewish community is coming together, but not only the Jewish community, communities who are committed to ensuring that hatred has no place, and that together, when we come together, when we remember together, and when we make a sacred pledge to not let hate take over, only then can we really be sure that never again will the Holocaust take place.
The ceremony brought the community together to honor the 6 million Jews who were killed and to reflect on the importance of remembrance.
And
The 21st annual Salute to Our Troops fundraiser wrapped up tonight at Toscana Country Club in Indian Wells. The event, hosted by American Friends of our Armed Forces, featured a patriotic evening of dinner. There was a program, and as you saw right there, also a private concert. Country music legend Lee Greenwood, best known for God Bless the USA, the song that you just heard, headlined the celebration. The event is part of a two-day tribute honoring service members with a golf classic, which is set for tomorrow, pairing local golfers with Marines. Coming up next tonight, leadership Coachella Valley is raising funds through a silent auction to support a local recovery center. We've got that full story. That's coming up. And Crypto Fitz joins us with a look at where key measures stand right now. That's after the break. We'll be right back.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Leadership Coachella Valley is a program dedicated to identifying, inspiring, and developing the region's future leaders. This year's class includes our very own Thalia Hayden and Kai Beach. For their class project, LCV is partnering with a local recovery center to help expand its services. Kai Beach tells us how.
Nestled in the San Jacinto Mountains, a historic O'Donnell Golf Club is typically members only. But now you could score a rare round while giving back. It's one of the top items in Leadership Coachella Valley's silent auction. Supporting this year's class project, the ABC Recovery Center.
We're opening our arms. We are trying to be good neighbors here in Palm Springs.
Alexandra Phillips, the club's general manager and a member of LCV's 2026 class, says while bids may be quiet, the impact is anything but.
We're donating a foursome, including carts here at the club, and we're donating because it's an opportunity that not a lot of people get, and we're excited to share it.
From unique local experiences to a behind-the-scenes tour of our NBC Palm Springs newsroom, organizers say there's something for everyone.
If you want to support, go to abcrecoverycenter.org and click on the link called Building Hope, and it'll take you right to our Give Butter page with the silent auction items, tickets to the event, and more information.
So whether you want to support future leaders or help those on the road to recovery, this auction offers a chance to do both and maybe even tee off at one of our valley's most exclusive golf courses.
Leadership Coachella Valley is helping to raise leaders all throughout the community, and we really want to give back. So you're not just helping today, but you're helping the future of this valley.
I'm Kai Beach with NBC Palm Springs.
Over 100 Coachella Valley students were getting a hands-on look at future careers in hospitality. The Greater Palm Springs Tourism Foundation hosted its Student Hospitality Day. It was at Tommy Bahama Miramonte Resort and Spa in Indian Wells. About 120 high school sophomores took part in the interactive sessions focused on hotel operations, culinary arts, events, and tourism. Organizers say the goal is to connect students with real-world career paths, including internships, certifications, and scholarship opportunities that are accessible right here in the Valley. Time right now for your spring update on the world of cryptocurrency. Here's Crypto Fitz with all the details.
While the rest of the world focused on spring break and the Easter egg hunts, D.C. was busy hatching the biggest regulatory shift in a century. Let's look at the scoreboard. The D.C. logjam breaks. The Clarity Act is officially moving to the Senate Banking Committee. The 3-month stalemate over stablecoin yield is over. The White House and Senator Tillis reportedly agreed on a compromise that satisfies the banks while keeping the rewards flowing. The bonus is that the FDIC and Treasury just released the Genius Act framework last week. They're effectively removing the hurdles for banks to issue their own stablecoins. Bitcoin is holding steady in the 70,000 range. The war premium is cooling off, but the adoption floor is rising. Keep your eyes on XRP. It's sitting at around $1.35. But with the Clarity Act moving, analysts are calling for a $5 to $10 target if Ripple secures that Federal Reserve master account. The Everything Exchange is live. The March 25th tokenization hearing wasn't just talk. We now have $26.5 billion in tokenized real-world assets sitting on chain. Let's look at the trend. From BlackRock to JP Morgan, Wall Street is no longer asking if they should tokenize. They're asking how fast they can get the rest of the $100 trillion market into the digital pipes. Bottom line, the institutional Great Awakening is over. It's just normal business now. I'm Jimmy Fitz for NBC Palm Springs.
All right, thanks to Jimmy for that report. And we do have a heads up this evening. Our Crypto Fitz segments are shifting from on-air to the digital world. So for the latest cryptocurrency headlines, you can go to the Programs tab of our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com. Select Crypto Fitz. That's where you're going to find new content updates every single week. We want to thank Crypto Fitz for being a recurring segment on air for more than 1 year now. We look forward to seeing the new digital content. So go on out there and sign on. Live pictures tonight from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above right there in downtown Palm Springs. Pablo Alcina standing by. Pablo, what's the latest?
We're going to heat up a little bit more. Yesterday we had highs in the 70s. Today highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow we might even see 90s. All the details coming up.
just about made it to the middle part of the work week, and with that, we have live pictures right now from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera there in Rancho Mirage. We have Pablo Alsina on set with us tonight. It's good to see you, and we're just a few days away from that influx of Coachella Weekend 2 arrivals,
Yeah,
right?
where I live in Palm Desert, weekend 1 of Coachella, my apartment was pumping. Like, you could hear the bass.
Pablo, I know that's just you dancing.
It was also.
Yeah,
I kind of enjoyed it. I'm going to dance over here. Tomorrow, Mark, we're going to be a little bit hotter, between 87 and 91, very warm and dry. But we might see 90s again, which might end our trend of being below normal. We should be at 88 degrees. Today, again, below normal at 83. So that was gorgeous. The last several days, we've been below normal. Tomorrow, there's a chance we'll be at normal or slightly above it. High temperatures in the southwest. We were, again, the hottest in the southwest after 4 days of not being numero uno. Again, Palm Springs, we are hot, 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 but only at 83 degrees, so you can't complain. High temperatures in other parts. Palm Desert, where I live, 86. Cabazon with a high of just 71, Thousand Palms and Indio both with highs of 82. Whitewater will be windy on Thursday. Desert Hot Springs on Friday, they're going to see winds between 30 and 39. And north of the I-10 and south of the I-10 on Thursday will be pretty windy. If you're going to Coachella on Friday, it won't be that windy at all, but still winds between 10 and 19 miles an hour. Low temperatures tonight in the 60s in Palm Springs and Palm Desert. Idlewild with the low of 41. Look at Big Bear City, well below freezing at 27. Tomorrow morning we'll be at 60 degrees by 6 a.m. Noon already at 83 in our 7-day comfort air forecast for Coachella. Friday for Sabrina Carpenter, a high of just 83. Saturday for Justin Bieber, a high of possibly 90. Partly cloudy on Sunday for Karol G to finish out Coachella 91. And then we will cool off quickly on next Tuesday. Might even see highs again in the high 70s. So enjoy these beautiful temperatures. I'm liking April a lot more than I was liking March. Keep it here on NBC Palm Springs.
And now, NBC Palm Springs Sports with Caitlin Kelly, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Welcome back. Over the weekend, College of the Desert men's baseball team became the Inland Empire Conference champs. The season for the Roadrunners has been nothing short of impressive, but the story of the program's success this year goes much deeper than just a title. When head coach Sam DiMatteo and assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Casey Dill took over the program in 2019, they inherited a team that, by their own admission, didn't have the best reputation.
The best local players didn't want to play here, and so we had to recruit guys from outside of the area that had never heard about the program. For the first few years, the team was made up of guys from all over the country, so we had to be really creative with how we won early on.
And it didn't take long for that approach to pay off.
We're the #1 junior college in the state of California in moving players into four-year schools the last 6 years. When people see that you're winning and you're moving players on, there's nothing more important in junior college baseball. So now we're getting the best local players to stay.
Now, they're not just developing talent, they're dominating. This season, the Roadrunners lead the way in moving players to the next level while also putting together one of the most successful seasons in program history.
Brandon Leone, one of our outfielders, is in the top 5 with batting average. He's in there with RBIs and stolen bases as well. Matt Wallen is in there, top 5 for most wins. Caleb Ortiz is at a 1.6 ERA. Very proud of this group and our coaches and just all the work that we all put in.
And inside the clubhouse, the culture shift is just as impactful as the results on the field. Players buying in and taking pride in what it means to wear a Roadrunner uniform.
It's not that we only have talent, we have a great coaching staff, but I feel like our guys have molded and came together as, one team. And there's a lot of good friendships and things that are gonna, live on forever. Just great coaching, great people to be around, and just a great place. It's sunny every day, and just love it.
This year marks just the second time in program history that College of the Desert has won a conference championship. And they're not done yet.
We only have 4 games left. If we win all 4, I believe that puts us at 32 wins, which would be the most in COD history.
Well, you can keep it locked into us right here at NBC Palm Springs, specifically on the sports desk and online at NBCPalmSprings.com. We'll be posting the regional championship game schedule as soon as it drops. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
There are growing signs that film production is returning to the desert as more independent filmmakers choose the region for their projects. One local project, Playing the Float, tells the true story of photographer James Salvatore Tangori. He worked with people like Tommy Hilfiger and stars like Cindy Crawford, Jennifer Lopez, even Snoop Dogg. The film follows his life after a job site electrocution and the legal battle that followed. Production is taking place at multiple Valley locations, including the Walter Clark Legal Group.
There's no better place to shoot than the desert, in my personal opinion. And it has been really just a lovely location. And I just want to say thank you to Walter Clark for letting us be here. It's been a blessing.
Well, it's interesting that we're shooting the scene at Walter Clark because he's a personal injury attorney. And this story is about a personal injury, a severe personal injury, and a guy who is up against the monster insurance companies.
To be able to film in a real courtroom and to be able to do a deposition here in this law office, as an artist, as an actor, it was real.
The production also includes work from local crews, including NBC Palm Springs photographer James Snow. The film is expected to enter the festival circuit, adding to a growing trend of filmmaking activity right here in our region. We'll be back with more news. That's right after this. All right, some quick final headlines this evening. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ready to welcome in some new members. 18 artists got the nod this year in several categories. The 2026 induction ceremony scheduled for November 14th in Los Angeles. I believe one of those artists is Queen Latifah, also Luther Vandross. Congratulations to them. We look forward to that. And one last note this evening, just wanted to pass this along. The Firebirds won their game tonight against the San Jose Barracuda. That's 4-1. And I believe that moves them to 4th place in the Pacific Division. So 2 games left. We got San Diego Saturday and final home game on Sunday against Abbotsford.
And they got all their Kraken players back because the Kraken's not there, so Coco's going to be back at goal. Firebirds, come on, baby. This is the season.
Go Firebirds. We are out of time here on this Tuesday, but we look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For now, good night.